Well, welcome to week one. And in this video, I want to give you a very brief overview of the work that you'll be doing this week and a sense of the flow of what has to be accomplished before you get to the end of Friday. You will notice that every week, the material is divided into what I'm calling intellectual formation, followed by personal formation, and finally this section on analysis of the church. Okay, and these things are related. I want to say here that to do well in analyzing the church and thinking about the kind of reformation it requires, it's not just about this sort of intellectual formation in which we're looking at these issues. It's also about personal formation. It's also, to be able to do that well, will require working on our own stuff. Okay, that's the basic premise here. And so each week we're pulling these things together to try to get a little bit further down the road of learning. This first week, we are laying down really some basic premises that are important to understand before we start hitting some of the theology really hard, some of that ecclesiology next week. And so we begin this week, first of all, with the concept of social location. And we will want to think about how we ourselves all have these social locations that are particular to us, and how that does influence how we view the world, how we do our leadership, how we engage our church, and so on. Okay, so there will be 3 short videos about social location. But you really need to keep in mind as well that anytime you are reading a book, you need to ask about the author's social location. Where is this person coming from, and what does that tell us about perhaps their blind spots, or perhaps their formation and perspective that's coming through, okay? So first, social location, and you'll want to take that concept with you through the course. Then secondly, we're going to look at intersectionality, which is sort of another lens related to this idea of social location, that there are different places where we're located socially that are places of marginality or locations of oppression because of the way the systems of government, church, economics, etc., because of the way they operate and the way they are shaped, create these places of oppression. And intersectionality is an identification of how many of those places of marginalization come together in an individual's life. Okay, so what's interesting after this, there's a really good video from the General Commission on Religion and Race, Dr. Pamela Lightsey. Really watch that, because then when you're done with it, you also get to take a little test to score your own intersectionality score. I doubt you'll be very surprised by where you end up in this analysis of your own locations on these various spectra. In any case, I think you have the idea. So you will want to keep these notions of social location and intersectionality working across your learning this semester. Then, with those pieces in place, you're going to move into that personal formation. This is the week when you need to get with your group and or the other person, if you're in a group of two. You need to figure out when is a good time to meet for an hour every week so that you can talk about and work on those things related to your intercultural development plan that have been laid out in the syllabus. Okay, so that 1 hour a week is on you to attend to figure out when, what kind of technology you're going to use to do it, and so on. But if I pick up that someone is consistently not joining in their weekly group, that will be a problematic for completing the course. Okay, I just trust you to do this and that it will be valuable along the way. And it will reduce your time having to be on Moodle, doing forums, and so on. And then finally, you're going to get into that last section, the analysis of the church, and you will begin the work leading towards your paper. This is your first short paper. Now, let me just say this. I'm still looking for you to write a decent couple pages, right? Don't just stream of consciousness it so it's one long paragraph. I'm looking to see early on that you are capable of writing well. And if you are going to reference something, that you reference it appropriately. I know that you probably don't have hours and hours to spend on these short papers. I get that, but let's be sure to edit them before we submit them, okay? And yeah, so I think that's about it for the first week. Remember, we're laying down some basic things. Oh, yeah, I forgot. You're going to do that little discussion around Dear Church. I kind of figured folks would like that. It's a lighter reading in the sense of it's written for a more lay audience, but it really begins to get at some of the issues that we are dealing with. And I know many of you enjoyed it. And so you get to have a good conversation around that as well. Okay, that's it for this first week. And I hope you enjoy this journey through week 1 of this course.